Forget me not. A Curse o' Remembering, written and told by Rowan Morrison. The bitterness in her breast bore nae resemblance to the love that was yin so sweet as summer honey. Her heart new twisted like blackthorn branches, as savage as the thorns that lay waiting inside her well-stocked larder, waiting to do her bidding, like the foolish men who fell for her cat-like eyes and lang dark hair. Oh, how they loved to caress her inky black curls with her dirty, dirty fingers. I shall nae lie, there was ne'er really much goodness inside this particular witch, but love has the power to mak even the deil vulnerable. For a fleeting moment, she was as vulnerable as her spirit familiar, a little leveret, above the ground, dependent. Nae a state of being that this wild woman was accustomed to. Love, it had hit her like a lightning bolt, except there was nae rumble of thunder to warn o' its coming. It lasted but a fleeting moment, till her lover found another woman, wi' even langer curlier tresses, but its strike had scorched her soul for e'er. She had been the yin in the past that had used and discarded. Now she was a woman scorned, deadlier than the nightshade plant she was named after. This female Belladonna had poison for blood, and was nae afraid to use it. Despite her best efforts, she could ne'er forget the taste of love in all its forms. Its heady spell, more addictive than the plants she consumed to ease the pain of heartbreak. An outsider fae beyond the hedgerows, the witch had lived life as she pleased. Now she lived for the day that she would hae her vengeance on the man who had turned her inside out. But this desire, it swelled deep inside her like a storm in the belly of the sea, till it emerged as a curse. She called after her favourite flower, Forget me not. A poetic curse named after a little blue flower. May nae sound particularly bad, but believe me, it was. Remember the insanity of first love and intense heartbreak that followed. Well, imagine being consumed with a burning passion that threatens to set your very soul on fire. Oh, deeply loving someone you can never possess. This curse was all those things and more. Like many o' her kind, her dark powers were particularly potent during the full moon. Perhaps a cause magic is enhanced with strong human emotions, the kind that threaten to expose all your dark secrets for the world to see. Emotions so nauseating that you can't hide behind a mask of normality. A time o' animal howling. Well, on such a night, Belladonna would harness the lunacy of mortals until she had enough to extract the revenge on the man who lied his way into her bed and cruelly tossed her aside. It took her 3 months to fill her apothecary with the kind of enhanced emotions that would cause a terrible seasickness on dry land. Come the spring, her guerdon would be full of forget-me-nots, and the price for breaking a witch's heart would be paid. A mental prison of pain awaited the recipient. After all, she could not forget him, so why should he be able to forget her? It seemed fitting that she should harvest the wee blue flowers on the first day in April, picking them when the sun reached the highest point in the sky, carefully placing them in a clear glass bowl etched with strange symbols, then filling the bowl that once belonged to her grandmother with cooled, boiled seawater, afore she emptied every drop of lunacy that she had collected into the potion, adding some of her lover's hair that the witch had saved for her feathery pillow, plus a pinch of her namesake, Belladonna, to finish the potion. A pretty name for a pretty poison. In case you didn't ken, there are all kinds of curses. The forget-me-not curse was an intended type, created deliberately to cause harm and maintained by continual power. These kinds of curses are rare, but deadly, due to the amount of arcane knowledge and primal power it takes to fuel them. Nothing good has e'er been born out of such darkness. The witch, she laid an altar in the darkest corner of her cottage. Like her, no empty soul, a place where nae light shone, a place o' animal bones and entrails, o' mugwort and madness. Being careful nae to inhale as she placed the bowl amongst the deed things that adorned this altar, for she knew what it would do to the mind. Using a piece of burnt charcoal for her hearth, Belladonna drew the image of her lover on the dried skin of a mountain hare. Her spirit took flight, and she gazed upon the man whose sleeping image new invoked a fury that could not be contained within her flesh and bones. It was then that she whispered these words above his sleeping body. When the silence of a life without my words is unbearable to your being, forget me not. When autumn leaves fall like poetry for the trees as the earth decays, forget me not. When the sky is as blue as the look of love once was in my eyes, forget me not. When the moon kisses the sea just as you once kissed me, forget me not. When your cold body craves my warm womanly flesh, forget me not. When your bones are naught but dust in a grave, forget me not. Oh, my love, ye are cursed to forget me not. The curse was complete. Her lover died shortly after. O, a tormented soul! But the thing about intended curses is that by their very nature they condemn both parties to a life sentence. You see, Belladonna could ne'er forget either, each full moon, until she died at the age o' 103. She tended her altar, gazing upon her lover's burnt image, while she wept dry tears, until the deil come to claim her soul.